Hello, dealers and friends, and welcome to the third week of our webinar series. Again, I'm co-hosted by Mr. Tim Bird. Hey, Mr. Bird, how you doing today?
Good morning, Taylor. How are you down in Charlotte?
Doing great. How are you doing in Virginia?
Outstanding, but I'm
Oh,
improving.
fantastic. Okay, great. So DealerRE is putting on this webinar series to provide information about different opportunities that you dealers may have, whether you're a buy here, pay here dealer, whether you're a traditional retail dealer. We want to just outline a few different opportunities that we see our clients having. And, you know, we speak to dealers all over the country every week. And we want to bring to your purview some opportunities that you may have at your dealership. And today, we want to talk about limited warranties and vehicle service contracts and the differences between the two, as well as the different opportunities that retail dealers and buy here, pay here dealers have with those two products. Both of which most of the folks in the automotive industry just refer to as warranties, and we want to clarify that. So, Mr. Bird, would you tell us a little bit about limited warranties and vehicle service contracts and the difference between the two?
I sure will, Taylor. So there is a big difference between warranties and service contracts, and the thing is, as you pointed out, in the car business, we generally just say warranty or extended warranty. But the thing is that when you think about warranty, it's one place that would help you to clarify that is your buyer's guide. When you put a buyer's guide on a used car, then you have to indicate whether it comes with a warranty or not. Now, warranties are governed by the federal government under Magnuson-Moss, whereas service contracts are governed by each individual state. So there is a difference in what the service contracts would outline based on the states. But warranties all fall under the same guidelines, which is the Magnuson-Moss, which is federal, which goes along with your FTC sticker, your buyer's guide. So the thing that differentiates the two is that warranties are something that comes with the car, okay? And what the government has said is the differentiating factor is who's holding the reserve for that, or who's responsible to pay those claims. So if you, the dealer, are responsible for paying those claims, then you are giving them a warranty, and you can mark warranty on your buyer's guide. So and that even if you're reserving that warranty money in your reinsurance company, it's still a warranty. If you bought a contract from a third party and gave it to your customer, it's still a service contract because they hold the reserve and they're responsible for making the claim. So that's an important distinction. So if you want to mark warranty on your buyer's guide for those tire kickers that come on your lot, then you need to make sure that you're the one that it is reserving for it, and you are the one that are responsible for paying those claims. Now, a service contract, on the other hand, is something that you can buy from many different sources out there. There's lots of, as we call them warranty companies, right? But they're actually service contract providers. So those warranty companies or service contract providers a service contract is an agreement. It is just what it says, vehicle service contract. So it is an agreement between the warranty company and the customer that in the event that they should have whatever the stated components are that are listed there, or there's also exclusionary coverage, which means, so stated component is whatever stated there is what is covered. If it's not stated, it's not covered, versus having an exclusionary coverage means that everything's covered except what is listed here, which is the exclusions. So that's the difference between the two. And usually when you find exclusionary coverage, it is most linked with newer cars. Okay, so maybe a program car, or if you have new cars, for instance, the factory warranty is exclusionary. It lists the things that are not covered. So anyway, that is the difference between service contracts and warranties. And also service contracts, when you sell a service contract, it is listed as a line item on your retail installment contract or your finance contract. When you provide a warranty, the warranty is listed on the buyer's guide. It's not listed or price given to the customer for that warranty.
Okay, so to recap that, in the maybe 15-second version, a warranty and a service contract may cover like items, but a warranty is given to the customer in the price of the vehicle, and a vehicle service contract is a separate item that the customer would purchase over and above the price of the vehicle as a line item on the retail installment contract, or they could pay cash for it, and it doesn't have to be.
Right, that's true. Yes.
Okay. All right. Perfect. So, thank you for that. Now, could you please explain to us why a dealer might give? So let's start with warranties. Why a dealer might give their customers a limited warranty? What would be the benefit of the dealer? Or for the dealer to give their customer a limited warranty?
Well, the number one reason is that you want a good reputation in the business, because if you sell cars and they break and you don't back them up, then you're certainly not going to have a very good reputation. So it's important that we cover the things that we sell. We back them up, and you back them up with a warranty. Now, it's also important that you lay out the guidelines of what you're covering, because we have to take into consideration that we may expect more out of a newer car than we would an older car. Okay, so an older car has more wear and tear on it, so it's more likely to have issues necessarily than a newer car. And that's why a lot of times your newer car coverage has greater coverage. Okay, so and keep this in mind, there's all different levels of coverage. And the thing is with warranties is that you can sit down and decide exactly what you want to cover under a warranty, whereas service contracts are generally have to be issued to get approval through the state. You have to apply and give them that coverage and show them what you're selling so that they give you permission to, so you file it with the state. So there's a difference there.
Okay, great. So, so dealers can purchase warranties, but really they become service contracts and give them to their customers. And we see a lot of dealers across the country doing that. Why would a dealer want to, if they are currently doing that, why would they want to maybe change how they're doing things and set up a reinsurance company to provide those types of warranties to their customers?
Well, the thing is if you buy anything from someone else and they have say over whether something is covered or not. Now, of course, there are guidelines that say, okay, we're going to cover these stated components. But if there's any flexibility or gray area at all in there, then they can pull the plug on it and not do that, which leaves you in a lurch as a dealer. So, by providing a warranty through your reinsurance company, two things are happening. One is you have greater control over what happens, okay, when there is a problem. And number two is that that you are not sending money off to a third-party company that's gone forever. Now, I know that there are a lot of companies out there that will sell you a warranty, 3 months or whatever, for $150 or maybe even less. but the thing is that when you pay that, it's gone, number one, forever. Number two, if something comes up and they say it's not covered, well, then there's nothing you can do about that, even if it makes you look like you have egg on your face. So you don't want to put yourself in that situation. Why not put yourself in a situation where you are reserving in a reinsurance company that's now look, some of you guys say, well, I can just put the money right here in a drawer, and if somebody has a breakdown, I'll take the money out and pay for it. Well, your customer's not always in your area. This is a big country, okay? And if they break down, you want to be able to take care of them and not be at the mercy of some repair facility in some other. So by having a reinsurance company, you have the best of both. These third-party companies have access to all over the country, and so does your reinsurance company, because we're using an administrator who has nationwide capabilities, just like any other company. But the difference is that you're taking and putting reserve away in your reinsurance company, and all of your customers. If you're doing a warranty, then the warranty is on almost all of your cars. So you're going to take that lump sum, that money from all these different people and put it in one pot. And that is exactly the definition of insurance, basically, is that it's a spreading of the risk. So not every car is going to break, but those that do, all that money is pooled into one spot. And that's true of warranties and service contracts. So if you, and I want to tell you, and Taylor probably, you'll probably ask this question anyway, but we get into loss ratios, okay? When we get into loss ratios, we're talking about, well, am I going to spend out of that lump sum of money in that pool of money in my reinsurance company, am I going to spend 10% of it, 50% of it, 90% of it? Well, I want you to understand, if you buy that warranty or service contract from somebody else, you're spending 100%, because you're not going to get any of that back. Whereas even if you did under, say, a retro program, then you have a higher tax consequence on that. But if you have a reinsurance company, whatever's not used to pay only your customers' claims becomes underwriting profit for you, and not you, the dealership, not you, the finance company, but you, the stockholder. And that's a big difference.
Awesome. So basically, benefit for the dealer would be being able to have more control over the customer's ownership experience, if you will, being able to capture any leftover money that was not paid out in claims. And then, the benefit for the customer is that they have the peace of mind in buying the vehicle from this dealer, knowing that the dealer is going to stand behind this vehicle.
Absolutely.
And then
that's where the marketing side of this comes in. Folks, when a customer comes on your lot, they want to know that have the peace of mind to know that if they buy something from you, that it's going to that if there is a problem, it's taken care of. And God, I want to ask you a question. Would you go? And I see this all the time. We have $30,000-$40,000 cars on dealers' lots that are as is. In other words, if it breaks in two halves on the way off the lot, it's both of them are yours. Okay? So what kind of peace of mind is that? Would you buy that would you recommend that for your mother or your daughter or anybody that's close to you to buy something that if there is any problem with it, the dealer has no obligation to cover that. So if by putting warranties on your cars, you are telling people, I am standing behind this vehicle. If it has a problem, we're going to take care of it. And the thing is, guys, you don't have to cover it for long. And I recommend to our dealers to cover as much as possible for that 3 months, because more than likely, if you have a problem with most anything on that car in the first 3 months, you're going to need to take care of it, or you're going to have a bad reputation because you didn't. So it's much better. It's much better to spend a little bit of money to cover some things that might come up after the sale that people go, man, you know what? I had a problem, and they said, don't worry about it. Come on down. We'll take care of that for you. Versus, you know, those jerks down there at ABC Motors wouldn't do nothing. I had a problem. They wouldn't take care of it. I'm not spending another dime with them. Never go back there.
Right.
So it's important that, and then selling a service contract on top of that. Okay. So you provide a warranty, which is a great benefit for tire kickers out there or whoever's looking, giving them that peace of mind when they come on your lot that you are somebody that backs up what you sell, and then upsell them a service contract. So in the long run, if they have a problem, that's going to get repaired in a timely fashion, and that way the customer's back on the road and happy with you.
Okay, so quickly we're gonna transition to service contracts, and service contracts are the benefits of selling a service contract are a little bit different for a buy here pay here dealer versus a retail dealer. So let's start with a retail dealer, and then we'll talk about buy here pay here dealer. So would you just go through obviously probably most of the dealers that may be tuning in here probably sell service contracts now, trying to have a good penetration so that they can maximize their F&I profit or F&I gross at the dealership. So why would a dealer want to, if they're currently selling service contracts through a third-party company, why would they want to look at doing that through a reinsurance company?
So it's important to point out that today, in this environment, and it has been actually for years, that our margins have been squeezed so much on the sale of cars that our F&I profits are tend to be a lot of times after absorption, they end up being the profit that we have left over at the end of the month. Okay. And there is no product greater at generating that than service contracts. So I want to point out to you as a retail dealer or buy here, pay here dealer, either one in this particular thing, if you're buying a third-party service contract from, I don't care if it's Ford Motor Credit or Chrysler or whoever it happens to be, if you're buying it from them and reselling it, let me tell you what's happening. So let's just, for round numbers, let's say that you bought a service contract that cost $1,000 and you sold it for $1,795. Okay, so F&I makes a $795 profit on the sale of that service contract if the customer keeps it the full term. Okay, that's important to point out because it is subject to refund in every state, pro rata. All right. So you send the $1,000 off to the warranty company, and they take that money in and they put most of it in reserve. Okay. Now at the end of the day, let's say that on average, you had between the admin fees and the claims, you had 60% of that money was spent to pay claims and the admin fees that go along with that. Okay. So now there is $400 that is left over of that $1,000 that was not used to pay claims. Now, in this particular case of a third-party warranty company, that $400 is their underwriting profit. All right. But if you have a reinsurance company, that $400 is your underwriting profit. So the difference here is vast. If you sold 100 of those a year, just think about how much money you're making there. Okay, that's $40,000 just there, just $40,000 over and above the money that you made in F&I. So you've increased your profits by that much. Now, let me say this, that so you're paying for that. And if, and you know this to be true, if there is a problem with that car that falls in that gray area, like I was talking a while ago, then you're going to come out of pocket to pay that. Okay. We know that. You know that. It's happened to you before. And by doing that, not only have you 100% loss ratio because you sent them all the money, but now you have greater than 100% loss ratio because you're also paying the claim to keep your customer happy.
Okay, one second. So to clarify, that what you just said is if you were doing that through a third party, if you were selling service contract through a third party and there was a claim that was not covered, but the customer thought it should be covered, then more than likely the dealer's going to get a call and he's going to be participating in some fashion to fix that vehicle. Is that what you're saying?
That's correct.
Okay.
Absolutely. Okay, now, so let's look at this from the buy here, pay here perspective. Okay. In fact, I talked to a buy here, pay here dealer yesterday, in fact, that has a reinsurance company. He's with a good company. All right. But the thing is that he has to pay the entire amount of the service contract up front at the end of every month. So if he sells, 23 of them and there's $1,000 a piece, that's $23,000 he has to come out of pocket for, right, to send that money to that reinsurance deal. Okay. Or, and we were talking about third party, it would be the same thing with them. You have to pay the whole thing up front. Now, one of the things that we do differently, because we're experts in the buy here, pay here business, we understand your business. And so it's important that we take that premium for whatever the term is, if it's a 24-month term, and we're going to divide that premium over 24 months. So as you're collecting it from your customer in the payments, you
right,
take out that piece and you pass it on to your reinsurance company. Okay. Now, that is huge for cash flow. If you're sending in $24,000, as we said, with 24 contracts at $1,000 versus sending in maybe $4,000, okay, what a huge difference that can be. And plus, if you're collecting it and passing it on, you never have a cash flow problem. You never do, unless you spent the money you were supposed to send to your reinsurance company, okay? But my point is that as long as you are collecting and passing it on, it's passed through, and there is no issues with your cash flow. And then when there is a problem with that car, then you can say, no problem, come on down. And it is so important to point out something, guys. We're in the payment producing business and the buy here, pay here side of this, okay? We use cars as the vehicle that produces those payments. But your whole outlook in the buy here, pay here finance world is stacking up more and more accounts, okay? And anything that disrupts that is disrupting the payments. So why not put a system in place that you're collecting from all of your customers, and you are pooling that money so that when there is a problem, you can get it fixed timely and without holding your customer hostage. Cars break, okay? They're made in Detroit, not in heaven, all right? They're gonna break. So why in the world would you blame it on your customer? Now, sometimes it is their fault. I'm not saying that, okay? Sometimes they don't change the oil, they don't take care of the car, and I understand that. But the thing is that many times it's just the car had a mechanical failure, all right? And regardless, we want to take and get them back on the road as quickly as possible, because if you don't, you've lost them. And if you lose them, then you've lost the payments coming in for them.
And let me point something out that you and I have talked with dealers about is right now, if in the buy here, pay here business, if the customer's vehicle breaks, we have a couple options, right? We want the loan to go to the end of the term. and the customer is not going to pay for a vehicle that is broken. So the vehicle has to be fixed. So what are the options? One, the dealer pays for it, fixes it, and gets the customer back on the road. Two, the dealer pays for it, fixes it, and puts a side note on that car, and hopefully he's able to get it back. Or three, he doesn't fix it, the customer stops paying, it's a repo, then the dealer fixes it anyway and resells it, right? So either way, the customer's paying, the dealer's paying for it.
And you know, I hear some dealers that go, oh, well, I can make a lot of money putting my people on notes for these repairs.
Right.
But guys, what are you doing? You know, why not get everybody involved?
Right.
Don't you think you'll make more money if you get everybody involved and they're all paying into a pool? And you know, we have what we call the Advantage program or the VIP program here at DealerRE. And we set up buy here, pay here dealers with a service contract, usually 24 months, 30,000 miles. Put along with that, say, debt cancellation coverage, and then take advantage of things you're doing anyway. Free vehicle history report, $500 off your next vehicle, whatever, you know, whatever you want to do. And then we package that up for you. We actually will even do the graphics for your brochure and all for that. And that you sell that to each customer as a package deal, which differentiates you from anybody else in your territory, okay? Well, you're going to be different. You're going to give them an advantage, and that the money that they spend on that is usually less than what they were going to pay for car insurance, all right? So this gives them an advantage, gives them an advantage when they have a problem. It's taken care of. And by doing that, you are keeping them on the road and continuing to making payments, but you're also collecting, you know, somewhere around $100 a customer in addition to what you normally would. And this isn't $100 that you're having them pay above and beyond their budget. It's $100 that they were going to send to the General or to the Elephant or one of them other insurance companies. So now they're taking that money and you're taking and putting it into your reinsurance company and pooling it up so that when you have issues, it's taken care of.
Good. So dealers, if you have any questions about the Advantage program, then feel free to reach out to us at our office, or you can email us at info@dealerre.com. But I did want to circle back and make sure that it was clear that for buy here, pay here dealers, instead of using your money to fix these cars, you could be collecting premium from as many customers as you possibly could if you sell it to as many as possible, and taking the customer's money, putting it in a pool, and fixing their cars to make sure that your loans perform better and your overall business is going to be, I don't like the word optimized, but optimized, because your customers are going to be happier. And again, your business is just going to you're going to have more control over your business, and you're using your money to do so.
You know, Taylor, it's important to point out too that that they're not paying this money that's pooled up. They're not paying taxes on that. Okay, right. It's premium.
Right.
And in other words, guys, if you decided, well, I just do this myself, I'll just set over money over here. Well, a couple of things. One, if they break down out of town, you're going to have to figure out how to take care of that. And we know what a nightmare that would be. And number two is all the money that you set aside yourself, you're going to have to pay taxes on that, just like it's regular income for the dealership. Now, why in the world would you do that? Instead of, if you set up a reinsurance company, you get to expense that warranty, service contract, whatever it is, and then it's set aside over here in a different company that you own, okay? And you're not paying tax on that premium as long as it's sitting there. So that is a very important. In fact, Uncle Sam says you can put $2.3 million a year away. Now, wouldn't you like to strive for that goal? Okay, I'd love to get to the goal where I could put $2.3 million away every year of net written premium and elect not to only pay taxes on the underwriting profit. I mean, on the investment income. So what a great deal that is.
Right.
So guys, we're the experts in this, and we want you to give us a call, and we will go through this with you, talk to you about it. We will talk to you and ask you questions about what you're doing now, what your business model is, and help you formulate the best plan for your dealership.
That's great. Okay, so not to leave the retail dealers with only so much information. Really quickly, let's rewind back to the retail dealers. So the biggest benefit for a retail dealer right now, they're selling service contracts, and it may be through a third party. Okay, let's say that they do 10 a month, and they send $10,000 a month to their third party company. So $120,000 a year. What we said earlier was about 50 to 60% of it was going to get paid out in claims. And so the dealer could have somewhere between, $50,000 and $60,000 that was becoming underwriting profit on average, that they could be capturing themselves as a shareholder of their reinsurance company. And they'll be able to take better care of their customers. And if they have a repair facility, then we will try to route those claims back.
Yeah, if they're within 100 miles of the selling dealer, we will point them back to the selling dealer's repair facility.
So that $50,000 or $60,000 that got spent in claims is really being spent at their repair facility to fix their customer's car, so they're able to capture that profit there at the dealership. One thing I do want to mention is if we think that setting up a reinsurance company is the best option for you in the long run. However, if you don't currently have the ability to do so, then we also have the ability to help you with a profit sharing retro program. And that is the second best option, because you're able to at least have some participation in those underwriting profits. But again, it's not going to be this, you're not going to make as much money as you would through a reinsurance company, but it would be a stepping stone if that's something that you are interested in talking about, and we'll talk to you about that as well. So
real quick too, I want to point out for the retail dealers out there that we have advantage programs for you as well. We can set you up with a certified program so your advantage would be you certify the car, and I'm going to explain this real quick. So you don't certify all your cars. You take your best cars and you certify them, because statistics show that certified cars bring more money. No question about it, and they sell faster than the other cars. So you certify a certain group of cars, then you take a certain group of cars that you put a warranty on them, but they're not certified, but they're still warranted. And then maybe you have your budget center over here, which is a few as-is cars, okay? So that when your salesperson goes out on the lot to talk about they're selling yourself, the house, and the product, right? So they go out on the lot and they go, here is our very best cars. We have gone through them with a fine-tooth comb, and just in case we missed anything, we have a 3-month, 3,000-mile warranty on it. And then these are our other cars here. They're good cars. They're a little higher mileage cars, and we do warranty them with a 3-month powertrain warranty. And over here's our budget, the as is. If it falls in 2 pieces, you get both of them. Okay. So by doing that, you're talking about value. You're not talking about price. And we get into the price thing, and I'm going to tell y'all something. There can't be but one cheapest dealer out there. And racing to the bottom is no way to make a living, okay? So sales tells us that we increase value to justify price, right?
Right.
So by having an advantage program on a retail car, you can have a certified warranty, you can have windshield coverage and door ding protection and 24-hour roadside assistance for a short time. And then when they go to F&I goes, hey, did you like our advantage program? And again, we're going to add those other things too. Let me the things you're doing anyway. free vehicle history report, $500 off your next car, whatever. But when you go to F&I goes, did you like our Advantage program? That's great. So what would you really see the benefit in increasing that for 3 years instead of for 1 year, or for 3 months, or whatever it happens to be? So, and I always tell them, say, most of our customers take advantage of this, but all of my friends do, and it saves some of them a lot of money. So what that does is that gives them an opportunity in F&I, which usually is scared to death about what you're giving away, to upsell a program that's very popular. And again, we can do all the graphics work for you for those programs, including posters and window hangers and all kinds of things. So those are things that we can do to help you to take your lot to the next level.
All right, great. Well, I think that at this point, we've covered most of the benefits, opportunities that dealers have to give their customers warranties and sell them vehicle service contracts, whether or not they're a buy your pay your dealer, whether they're a retail dealer. So if you dealers have any questions about doing either of those things, warranty service contracts, an Advantage program, we'd be more than happy to get on the phone with you and do a dealership analysis, if you will, of your current business model, how you have been doing things, and we'll make some suggestions on how you may be able to take advantage of these opportunities. If you want to, you can call the number that will be at the bottom of this screen, 804-824-9533. Or you can email us again at info@DealerRE.com. We are looking forward to speaking with you. And again, if you have any questions, just reach out. Mr. Bird, I think that's all we got here. You have any last things to put in?
No, I think that's good, Taylor. We'll save more for another day. But God bless y'all, and we appreciate your time, and we look forward to talking.
All right. Thank you. Thank you, guys. Have a great day, and stay safe and stay healthy. Bye-bye.